Can you imagine selling your wife's jewelry, borrowing money from your relative, and taking loans that you may spend years repaying because you believe that you are buying a better future for your entire family? Now imagine arriving in Europe and discovering that reality looks very, very different from what you were promised. Well, that is the exact controversy that is now unfolding in Italy. Ladies and gentlemen, authorities there, they are investigating allegations involving Indian workers recruited for a major construction project linked to a new US consulate building in Milan. According to the court documents, hundreds of Indian workers, they were allegedly recruited through intermediaries in New Delhi, and they were brought to Italy with promises of employment opportunity. But for many workers, getting the job reportedly came at a huge cost. They say that they paid nearly 5 lakh rupees just to secure a contract. Now, for many families, 5 lakh rupees, it's not just saving. It is debt, it is jewelry, it is mortgage, it is years of sacrifice. Workers told the investigators that they believed that they were making an investment in better future here. Instead, some now allege that they found themselves trapped in a difficult condition. In the meantime, court documents, they reportedly contain statements from dozens of Indian workers who claims that they worked extremely long shifts, often up to 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Many also claim that unexpected deduction for the housing or maybe food, it significantly reduced their income. One worker reportedly said that he was left with very little money after expenses despite spending most of his time working. Perhaps the most troubling allegation, it involves language. That's right. Several workers told the investigators that they signed contracts written in English despite not fully understanding the language here. Can you imagine signing documents that will determine your future while not fully understanding what they contain? That is a frightening situation, right? While investigation that is still ongoing though, but this story, it highlights a reality that often receives too little attention. Every year, thousands of Indians, they leave home seeking opportunity overseas. Some succeed, many build wonderful lives though, but some, they encounter exploitation, misinformation, a system that they do not fully understand. And yes, when things go wrong, they are often thousands of miles away from the family support. Well, let's move on to the tourists now. Why are Indian tourists hated overall? That means all around the globe. Well, a group of tourists dancing Garba in Vietnam. Sounds harmless, doesn't it? Well, not everybody thinks so. A viral video showing Indian tourists performing Garba on an airport, and that too in Vietnam, it has triggered an intense online debate. In the clip, travelers are seen dancing in a circle while waiting during their journey. Their luggage, it sits in the middle. Music plays, people laugh. Now to some viewers, it looked very joyful, but to others, it looked embarrassing. And just like that, another debate about Indian tourists, well, it is spreading across social media. Soon, people began sharing other examples. Videos of tourists filming reels in public spaces in the US. Travelers dancing on overcrowded streets. Groups creating social media content in location where locals expected very quiet behavior. Within hours, the discussion, it expanded far beyond one video. Here, some people argued that Indians, they are unfairly targeted. After all, tourists from every country, they sometimes behave very differently, right? Americans, they have faced criticism. British tourists, they have faced criticism. Chinese tourists, they have faced criticism. So why should Indians be singled out here? Though others disagree, they argued that India's rapidly growing tourist population means that every incident, it receives greater attention. And because millions of Indians, they are traveling internationally for the first time, there can be sometimes a gap between enthusiasm and awareness of local customs. Here, travel experts say that this particular debate, it reflects a larger trend here. International travel, it is no longer just about sightseeing. It is about social media. People want photos, they want reels, they want viral content. And sometimes the desire to create content, that becomes more important than respecting the environment around them. But there is another side to this story. Now, many Indians traveling abroad, they are first-generation international tourists. They have worked hard for years just to afford these experiences. They are excited, they are proud, and sometimes that excitement becomes highly invisible. The bigger question is this: Well, when one traveler behaves badly, should an entire nation be judged? Ladies and gentlemen, that debate is unlikely to disappear anytime soon. As more Indians travel overseas every year, discussion about responsible tourism, cultural sensitivity, and public behavior, they are becoming more and more important. Well, the world is definitely watching India's growing global footprint, and every traveler in some way or the other becomes an ambassador of the country.